Welcome to the Business Analysis Benchmark 2009, The Path to Success. My name is Keith Ellis, and I'm the study author and Vice President of Marketing here at IAG Consulting. In less than 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through why business requirements are so important to companies, the key findings of the Business Analysis Benchmark in 2009, and I'm going to identify with you what CIOs need to do to get on this path to success. So why are business requirements so important? Think about the companies you interact with. Technology pervades every aspect of corporate competitiveness, the customer experience when interacting with a company, the cost structure of companies and their ability to be operationally excellent. Even the very services that companies are able to offer at, say, a bank, insurance, or telecommunications company is driven by technology. So what's the problem? The problem is that companies that do a poor job at requirements have trouble communicating these needs between the business and technology. They cannot quickly express their needs clearly and accurately in a form that readily translates into development of systems. This makes these companies far less nimble than their competitors. In fact, the lowest maturity companies miss the business objectives of development almost half the time. They take 35% longer to deploy applications. They have successful projects less than half the time. They fail or have marginal projects 3 times more frequently than they succeed in larger scale strategic initiatives, and they pay far more for their applications. What makes the problem complex is that requirements are not simply a documentation problem. If you try to address it that way, you'll fail. When IAG looks at requirements maturity in a company, we have to look at all the capabilities needed to effectively manage and deliver requirements maturity, and how this is tuned to support the development method and needs of the company. The documentation problem is relatively easy. Why organizations fail is because they fail to address the needs of good process to support this. They don't institutionalize techniques that are efficient for stakeholders and effective at improving quality. Some have not defined the value add that analysts or others in the organization are expected to bring and how they will manage and build the capacity to deliver value. For some, they need technology. And finally, for some, it's the staff issue. They need to have knowledgeable, skilled staff that have the ability to deliver value. You see, expecting an organization to do requirements on its own and have all of these capabilities is kind of like having a CFO prepare financial reports in the absence of generally accepted accounting principles. It's absurd. The capacity for requirements planning, elicitation, analysis, documentation, and management must lie somewhere within the organization. So whether this be with professional analysts, developers, designers, or in some other business function, so long as it is there, it must be effective. This is no small matter. You see, off the top of your head, you can probably think of a number of very large-scale failed implementations. Left unchecked, this inability to communicate effectively or efficiently eventually shows up not only in project results, it shows up in the fiscal results of even the largest publicly traded companies. IAG's Business Analysis Benchmark found Level 4 maturity organizations, those with the highest maturity, outperform the average return on assets of their peer group by almost 10%. This means if the average ROA in an industry is 7%, an average level 4 player in that same industry had an ROA of 17%. For the very largest companies, this represents billions of dollars in performance difference. You see, requirements maturity is not just important, it touches the very fabric of corporate competitiveness in today's world. So what is requirements maturity? Requirements definition and management maturity represents the overall capability of an organization to define and manage requirements. The maturity model is built up based on 5 levels of organizational capability. Each is gated. This means that there must be tangible evidence that an organization acts at a certain level. There are also 6 capabilities that underlie requirements definition and management. It is within each of these areas that requirements maturity is assessed, and in so doing comes up with an overall maturity level. Maturity will often fall to the lowest common denominator amongst all these elements. When we built up this research study, we had the benefit of over a decade of practice experience specializing in requirements discovery and management. We had the benefits of IAG's groundbreaking 2008 Business Analysis Benchmark study, and we knew the extreme performance that could come through developing requirements maturity. This year, we wanted to go further than any other study in the area had gone before, not only making the study far larger and bringing in external reviewers for the findings, but we also wanted to be forward-looking, talking about solutions. So IAG subtitled this study, The Path to Success, because the discussion is no longer about our requirements are important. It's about how do you fix this problem? How do I make significant change to the performance of my organization? This is why the business analysis benchmark and the IAG requirements maturity model are so important, because it maps out the strategy and tactics of making this business function a success. And our study found 75% of organizations today are poor at doing business requirements. The findings of the study are quite remarkable, and even knowing the results from last year, in the words of one of our executive reviewers, I am still amazed at just how much of an impact that good requirements play in the software development lifecycle. What we found is that companies that follow the path of improving requirements maturity virtually double performance in every major metric of IT development efficiency. This means on-budget delivery, on-time delivery, delivering the functionality required, project success rates, productivity in all of these areas double as an organization traverses from level 1 maturity to level 4. High maturity companies pay far less for their applications. Here, the average $250,000 application is found to cost the level 1 maturity organization $356,000 because of poor requirements. That's a $100,000 premium. And success rates change significantly for the business. I cannot underscore enough the paralyzing impact of continuously missing requirements or missing objectives and taking 35% longer to deliver new functionality, and what this will do to an organization. The level 4 maturity company can simply out-evolve its lower requirements management and maturity competitors. Sometimes IAG's findings are, in the words of one reviewer, iconoclastic. They're myth-busting some commonly held beliefs that were getting in the way of making substantial operational improvement. For example, the CIO cannot simply hire great analysts and make the problem of poor requirements go away. In fact, our study showed that lower skilled people in high requirements maturity organizations outperform higher skilled people in low requirements maturity organizations. We also found that different development methodologies have immaterial performance differences for any given level of requirements definition and management maturity. You see, IAG uses all of these different methods, and we don't endorse one over the other. We've certainly had tremendous success with each. But many followers of one method or another will claim to drive significant performance change simply in the adoption of that method. This study shows that shifting to or from, say, agile or waterfall or iterative or to whatever only really changes performance if the company also improves the people, process, and technology of requirements maturity over the course of the implementation. In the absence of this, it is unlikely that switching methods will deliver value. So what is the path to success? The path to success starts with a benchmark. You need to know how mature your capability is in the basic requirements definition and management capabilities. Then you need to create a plan for change. The report documents how tactics change for any given level of maturity and describes the optimal path to success. The report even looks at how well certain options perform at particular points in time. This section of the report is designed for implementation experts and helps them validate tactics for rolling out and sustaining change programs that can span multiple years. The business analysis benchmark is designed to guide you through the maze and reach your productivity goals. The vast majority of organizations last year were trying to make improvement in the area of requirements definition and management maturity, and fully 2/3 of those organizations got better stakeholder satisfaction and on-time, on-budget project performance in IT by improving requirements management maturity. We'd like to see this number go higher. The path to success may not be easy, but it is well defined. It is clear that very significant benefits arise for those that choose to follow the path to greater requirements definition and management maturity. We will continuously work to update IAG's own understanding of how to optimize the path for improvement for clients, and hope the analysis here provides insight for those of you looking to improve organizational performance. To this end, we provide this 2009 Business Analysis Benchmark, The Path to Success, and I wish you all great success.